Hey guys, welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, The Bright Side Girl, and today we're going to be doing my September TBR. So still kind of hiding the Halloween decor that I'm doing because I'm not quite done, but the next video you should be able to see everything that I've done in here, so stay tuned for that. And for now, we're going to talk about some Halloween fall themed reads that I would like to get to in September. I have been keeping these video TBRs pretty short just because I want to leave some wiggle room to change my mind or to pick different things up. But a big theme that I did for August and throughout most of the year was to try and finish up some series. I am doing really good so far. I spent all of August mostly reading unfinished series. You'll see my August wrap up here in just a couple days. So I want to continue this slightly through September and October. I don't want to go as hard as I did in August because I have so many spooky fall themed things that I want to get to. I do have some fall themed unfinished series that I can get to, but I don't want my entire month just to be things that I've read the first book of. A couple though on my unfinished series list that I would like to get to. I would like to get to the 6th and 7th at least in the Cirque du Freak series. This is a 12-book middle grade series all about vampires. So basically middle grader goes to like a carnival and it turns out to be like a magical creepy carnival filled with like vampires and different monsters, and he winds up becoming a vampire's assistant. I absolutely adore this series. It's the perfect amount of spooky for fall and Halloween time. I read 2 last month. I've read 2 over the past couple years. There's 12 books in the series, but they're very short. They're only like 4-hour audiobooks. So I'd like to get to at least 2 more of these in the month of September and hopefully wrap this series up probably in October. Also, most of these books I'm going to be listening to on audio. I've only been physically reading a handful of books every month, but I do have one physical read I'll talk to you guys about in a second. I also own a lot of these books, but because I've done crazy things with my shelves, I'm not sure where everything is, so I'm just putting pictures up for now. Okay, next up is the Monstromologist series. So I read the first one of this last year, I think maybe for Not So Scary-a-thon, I'm not sure, but I absolutely loved it. It is fairly creepy and graphic, but for some reason it didn't bother me. It's basically about a young man that is an assistant to like a scientist, and they study and also try to like capture monsters and save humanity. It's got a gothic Victorian vibe about it. I love that the main character is a male. We don't get that a ton in young adult, and I really enjoyed it. It's definitely got a little bit more graphic things than a lot of the books I tend to usually like. It's not necessarily scary, but they do a lot of lab experiments and things, but I really loved it. It's a 4-book series. It's by Rick Yancey, who did the 5th Wave series, which I haven't read, but I've heard good things. And so I want to reread this first book and get to at least the second one this month as well. Then I would like to continue on with the School for Good and Evil series. I cannot decide. I read the first 2 books a couple years ago or maybe last year, and I absolutely loved them. This again is a middle grade series, but it's a longer, like more dense fantasy. Think like Harry Potter, Nevermore style. And it's basically following 2 girls, and basically where they live on a certain night of the year, there's like a man that comes and takes kids out of their homes and sends them to the School for Good or the School for Evil, and the girls think that they're gonna go one way and other things happen, and so basically they get like trained to be like proper princesses or like villains. It's so amazing, and there's gonna be a Netflix series coming out I think at the end of September or early October. So excited. So I can't decide if I want to reread the first 2 or if I just want to dive into the 3rd one. I know the first 3 is a complete trilogy, and then the next 3 are either like a little bit in the future or new characters, but I'd like to either reread the first 2 and finish the trilogy or just go into the second book. I can't decide. I really love them, so I wouldn't mind rereading them, but they are a little bit longer. And then physically, I really want to finish Dracula. I started this last year. I think I can dive back in because not a ton happens in the first couple hundred pages. I try to read at least 1 or 2 spooky classics this time of year, and they usually become my favorite. Like Frankenstein's one of my favorites. A Picture of Dorian Gray is one of my favorites. So I really want to get to finish this one. I also am planning on doing like a vampire recommendations video, so stay tuned for that. And I want to make sure I have the original inspired literature first. So this is what I'm going to try to get to. And then one book I was able to find is The Nightmare Affair by Mindy Arnett. I think this is a trilogy, and This is basically about a girl that is a nightmare, and that's all I really know. I know the second book has some kind of small mermaid plot in it, very small, but they all have like a spooky fall vibe, and I don't think they have audio, so I'll be physically reading this one. Okay, so those are all the things that I want to talk about for my September TBR. I will be doing Not So Scary-a-thon, which is my fall Halloween themed readathon. The announcement video should be up soon, if not already. Whenever it is, I'll link it up in the cards and down below. That's going to be running September 27th through I think October 10th or 11th. And that'll be all like fall festive Halloween reads if you want to join in. There's Instagram challenges, I do a giveaway, it's so much fun, and I'll be doing a separate TBR video for that as well, so later in the month. Stay tuned for all the festive, fun, Halloween and fall themed videos over the next couple months. Let me know what you guys plan on reading in September. Let me know if you've read any of these books I've talked about today, and I will see you guys next time on The Bright Side.